People should be able to hear us, and now they should be able to see us. And now they should be able to see us. And now they should be able to see us. And people should be seeing 3 of me! It is Zed in Triune Vision! Hello. Hi. So the game's been gone for a little bit. People have been busy, and we didn't want to just like let the game end without like at least kind of trying to tie up some things. So and Shakes is here, and all of my boxes are going to be wrong. It's okay.
Oh, wait, no.
So I was just telling the stream that
no more Tri-Zed. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
But actually,
please no.
But actually, there isn't going to be any more because there will only be Duo Zed.
Also, please no.
I don't know what's happening.
If you're watching the stream, Shakes, there are 3 of me on there right now, but there won't be.
Okay.
I was just
about to switch over.
I was just filling in box space while we were waiting for people. But it is our typical game time. So there we go. So I got Queeby fixed. Now I gotta fix. Let's see. So what I was saying before is that we're probably ending the game today. And it's a decision based not on like in-game plotline and almost entirely based on. Thank you, Nav. You had a stream baby. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, that's creepy.
Right?
Don't love that.
Not about that, fam.
Look at you being all hip. So it's just been, people's lives have been lively, and we lost a player for that reason, and every week we've been struggling to get people together for that reason. I've got a lot going on up at the school right now. My students are refusing to write essays on anything approaching an acceptable schedule. There's a Porsche behind me who's like present and around, and that gets to be trouble.
The best kind of trouble, though.
Yeah. And yeah, so today I'm going to speed things up, basically. So a lot of things are going to happen, and it's going to feel like it's coming out of nowhere. I promise there was an explanation, and some of it you may get. But some of the things that are going to happen are going to feel a little bit random. And I do, on the one hand, I apologize for a less than stellar narrative. But on the other hand, I'm going to give you your Mondays back, so it'll work out.
Yay!
We love and appreciate you, Zed.
Yes, thank you.
Very true.
Yeah, it's sort of a bittersweet, but it is okay.
Life sucks balls, but we love you.
That was I had a sort of a heart-to-heart with some of my students today. I was like, look, you guys understand that you are like my family in that I love you, but I don't always like you.
Yep.
Okay, so we should have Rain joining us as well. They're just a little bit behind from a different game, I believe. Or a different, whatever. They have a thing that they're doing.
Different life thing.
Yeah. So, who remembers even what we were doing?
We had been asked to focus on the dog people. I've got that. Okay.
It also occurs to me that having been 3 weeks, I'd completely forgotten. I'm supposed to say hello and thank you to all sorts of people. So first off, hi, my name is Zed. This is Dark Knights in District 10. This is our D&D 5e campaign set in the Magic the Gathering world of Ravnica. And I am here with my lovely, lovely players. You have duo me until Rain shows up. I would like to thank our lovely sponsors, Tabletop Loot, Rue Inc., So Nerdware, and Roll20. All four of those organizations have been absolutely fantastic to us and have helped us out quite a bit over the, what? How long has this been a thing? Like 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close.
Around 2 years.
Maybe a year
I think
and a half?
I think it's 2 years in April.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
it's 2 years in April.
In April.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're coming up on it. So, wowzers, right? So thank you so much to those companies, and please do check them out. Rue Inc., sonerdwear.com. It is what the nerds wear. Coolstuffinc.com. And, of course, Roll20, which is currently hosting our dice roller and a lovely photo of Ravnica, which is the plane that we are on. Okay, so I'm going to sort of sum up some things, and then let me ask, do you want... I can give you context now or at the end? Which would you prefer?
At the end.
Context
Yeah.
at the end? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to... We'll Tarantino it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Quentin Tarantino is a director of films. And...
Okay, I know who Quentin Tarantino is, but apart from an obsession with feet, I don't know what that means in the context of this.
He has popularized the you start in media res and then you get the 6 weeks earlier and then it builds right back, right?
Oh, okay.
I understood
Right.
that reference.
Yay!
That's the first.
It is.
Thanks, don't feel bad. I didn't understand it either.
Okay.
No. I'm old. I don't understand movie references.
That's okay. First off, I'm older than you. Secondly, Tarantino is older than us. And thirdly, whatever. It's fine.
Spiritually, I am like a 60-year-old pensioner, okay? Me and my mother have the same sense of humor, and she's 70. We are the same person.
And just about physically, too.
You're not wrong, but ow!
Love you.
I say with heating packs on my spine.
Do you like to watch the telly for your stories?
I do, and stop doing the accent.
All right, so today, so here's what's happening. You had been given the instructions. So during the autopsy, and then you'd gotten that person up, and then you were trying to figure out what all they knew. And then you also went underground and spoke with the fortune teller, seer person. In essence,
Lawful Moss.
Yes, Lawful Moss. In the end, the overall directive that you guys had was that you needed to keep an eye out for sort of dog-headed creatures. Dog-headed, humanoid-looking people. And you know that they have some sort of connection with this weird blue... metal, you're sort of calling it a metal. Realistically, it'd be more like a modern ceramic polymer kind of a deal. It clinks like metal if you drop it, for example, but it's brittle in certain ways. It doesn't flex all that well, but it's extraordinarily sharp. And very, very hard. It doesn't shatter so much as it can be snapped with sufficient force much more easily. Anyway, regardless, it functions like that. Okay. The other thing, and I should have mentioned this before, and I completely forgot, and I apologize for that. So Selendra, you would have noticed this ages ago, and we'll just say that maybe you didn't put it together entirely until now. But the metal is I haven't said that it shows up as being magical, have I? Good. It in fact shows up as the opposite of magic. So wherever this stuff is, it actually, you could have a magical object behind it, for example. And if this passes in front, you would no longer see the magical aura.
I know what we need to do. Just run around and look for magic dead zones.
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad plan.
Because everything probably around here has at least a little magic.
A lot of stuff, yeah. A heck of a lot of stuff does.
We were going to talk to Dak Faden? Pack Faden? My handwriting's bad. At some point, I think.
Yes.
I found my notes, but that doesn't necessarily help me.
You were supposed to attempt to talk to Dak Faden. He is a planeswalker who is from here. And so the idea was that you were supposed to go try to talk to a planeswalker that you could actually find. Dak Faden has at different times held allegiance with the Izzet.
Yep.
Though he's not considered a member in good standing at the moment, because he likes to steal shit.
My kind of guy.
Fair. I've got the other guardhouses. There were more cases of incursions. 12? I've got 12 written down. I don't know whether that's helpful. And then it's just a lot of doodling. Not helpful.
Okay. That is fine.
And I've got coyote people. And
15 more laser tap?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that what that squiggle is?
Yeah. So Lazatap is what the material is called.
Oh, okay. And I've got extra Ravnica written, but I don't know what that means either.
I don't know what that means either.
I don't know whether that's just if it means like it's from outside of Ravnica,
Yeah, like
or if
extra
it's just extra, like it's a really extra
that
material.
Is
Who knows?
so Ravnica.
Oh no! Like I've written down 75% magical, so you must have said something about like it because it's like
Okay.
written down.
Well, that is wrong. It is anti-magical, and I apologize.
Okay, that's okay. My notes. I do not hold you responsible for what I write down.
This point.
Well, we had some people in the thing, and then they all went away. It was lovely, and then it wasn't. Oh well, that's fine. Whatever. We're not playing for them. We're playing for us. Rain, get in here. I know you can't, but get in here.
We have one person watching. He's just not in chat. He's messaging me.
Oh no, it's fun. Okay. So actually, currently, but here's what's weird with Twitch, right? Like, it currently is telling me that there are fewer people watching than I can personally account for. So like, it's all over the map. I don't really care. So for us, we're gonna flash forward a little bit of time. You guys have been working the problem. You have several different investigations, and you're running into issues trying to solve any of them, really. You cannot get a hold of Dak Faden. Every time you go somewhere where someone says that they think they might have seen him, he clearly hasn't been there for usually a few weeks. The closest you got is you think you were somewhere where he had been maybe 48 hours prior. But otherwise, he just isn't around. But what you have figured out is that he's definitely running from something. He is moving around not because he wants to, but more it seems that he is afraid of something. Additionally, there have been more and more cases of random acts of you're hard pressed to call it anything other than terrorism. Buildings catch fire and are swiftly put out, but what'll happen sometimes is like a building will be set fire, it'll be put out, and then the same building will be set alight again like 12 hours later. and you can't figure out. Well, I'm not going to say you can't. It is difficult to figure out exactly why. The reports that are coming back are conflicting. You hear from some who are present that it's some local mage, or sometimes you hear that it's hooligans, or the Rakdos were having a party, or whatever. But it just seems to be happening with such a frequency that it can't just be coincidence. Or if it is a coincidence, it must almost necessarily be a symptom of some greater issue. However, your job is to handle the bigger cases, and no further large problems have cropped up. It's just been this sort of continuous onslaught of literally putting out fires or calming upset crowds of people. When there are random protests or demonstrations in the streets, it can be difficult sometimes to really figure out even what they're trying to go for, why they're there, what they're protesting, or what they want. Ask 6 people, you'll get 12 different responses as to why they were there. The only thing that seems to be clear is that people are upset, but they don't really seem to know why. Yeah. Anything that you guys would, let's say in about a 3-week span of time, what for each of you would be like one thing that you really wanted to try to get done? And we'll start with Enfield.
Enfield would just be working their case. I mean, that's the orders they've been given. That's literally all they would be doing, because they don't need to sleep or eat. So anything they could do to help, any avenue they were pursuing, trying to find Dak Faden, they'd just be doing that. And also like crowd control when needed. They're just following orders, really.
Okay.
And also growing their moss shroud. They have nice mossy shoulders now.
Okay. Dwyer.
I think he would be preoccupied by any sort of fire damage or injury recovery. Be more interested in the rebuilding process and helping the people affected recover.
Okay. The people really do seem to appreciate your assistance. You gain something of a reputation for being the person who knows where the right form is.
Perfect.
Any kind of disaster relief has to be approved by usually someone in the Azorius Guild. And they are, of course, notoriously bureaucratic. So you being able to sort of cut through some of the red tape for people is actually more helpful in many cases than local charity or cleanup crews.
Yay.
Solyndra.
Well, it depends on one thing. How much money are we getting paid so far at this point?
You get paid 50 gold every 2 weeks.
50 gold every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not as much as I was thinking. So, I want to just spend however much time I can I want to take a map of our district. I want to pin it to my desk, and every time a fire starts, I want to just put a pin in that spot. I want to completely map out where it is, and then if I don't see a connection, I want to take string and start stringing all the fires together until I see either a shape or something coming out of this.
This actually makes me extremely happy.
Because all I'm thinking is it could be a possible either pentagram or various version of it and this is just a giant underground or other ritual type thing.
Let me see if I can get this. Hang on.
Because I don't have enough money to pay someone to do this for me, so I'll do it myself. Also while cussing at my sword.
Well, I was hoping it would work that way. Apparently I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Which is fine. I will show you the shape that it makes on the map. Come on, you stupid thing. It's uploading the file. It may take a few minutes.
Ooh.
I'll size that down a little bit so it's more visible. So that, which you should be able to see somewhat in Roll20, is the shape that it makes overall. And I'm gonna have to size it down quite a bit so that I can get it all on the in the streamy box. So whatever it is that is out here doing this. Hey, Rain's here. I get to fix the boxes
We got a
again.
rain.
Finally, I'm not trapped.
Alright, well, let me fix the boxes. And get that all set up. So, the sort of horn shape, though, that you see, this is what you're seeing on the map. I'm fixing boxes. It is my favorite thing.
I mean, I'm seeing a horn thing and a bunch of smiley faces.
Yes, that is a long-standing and healthy tradition with our group. Of I put cool, super serious bad guy thing down, and then they draw things all over it.
We haven't drawn anything rude. We've matured.
Yes, you have.
We're learning and evolving.
Hooray, character growth. I can't see it. Is there a penis now?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm still grown.
I'm so glad this is visible in stream too.
I put something rude.
Oh, well done.
All of this is fine. It takes up no game time because I'm working on trying to fix the boxes so you guys can do what you need to do.
Here, I'll just crouch down because I think
Hey,
here,
Rain,
now
can you
I'm kind of visible.
Can you center yourself a little bit better in your... Thank you. So much better.
I'm still here.
Oh yeah, hold on. I'm like down here. Hello.
Right? Like,
Hello.
we just crouched. We got this
No,
little
it's
space.
really-
See, this is fine. We'll just play like this. And then, if I really want to be annoying, I go up, and now I'm Cylindra.
It's not going to stay that way for long. I nearly have the boxes fixed.
I'm hanging out in Cylindra's box. Don't worry about it. I'm here for a visit.
How does Cylindra feel about that?
Oh.
I'm going back now.
I can just pet you. I think
Oh god, my ribs still hurt from my last game.
You know, when we said we were trying to break shakes, this is not what we meant. We didn't mean ribs.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Oh, right. I'm fine.
I'm just imagining.
Are you sure you're fine? You don't want me to put another rude thing down?
Okay, get it together. I'm fine. I'm good.
And transition.
No. Oh, now I'm just myself.
Hey,
And
I'm on top of you again. Yay!
Yay!
I ain't touching that one. Nope.
I mean, it sounds like someone already did.
I'm going to exit stage right.
18 and upstream. All right.
I'm sorry, QB. I would never enter your box. No, I can't. I'm sorry.
I feel like this conversation might violate Twitch TOS.
I think
Just
we're
means we
safe at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Stopping.
There are certainly limits, but I think we're okay for now. All right.
I'm sure I said worse last campaign. Come on.
Oh yes, as did we all. So said we all. All right. So Rain, you've been watching, yeah?
Yes. There was a bit that I missed towards the end because I had to have my niece vacate the area, but
Okay. So, but the basics you got. What did you leave off on?
I have no idea what the symbol is.
So this
You
symbol
have not missed anything.
is what Solyndra. So Solyndra is tracking all the different crazy like acts of terrorism that have been happening all over the city. Well, all over the district anyway. And putting pins in a map. And this symbol, roughly, in more like sort of a stick figure-y form, but this symbol roughly is what comes out of that.
Face and all.
No face.
I think it had the
I'm
face.
going to look at everybody and just go, okay, does anybody recognize the symbol? Religious, anything?
Ongrak?
No, Angrag had to go back to the church.
No.
No, I'm
Yeah.
asking if that's a portrait that you've made of Ongrak.
Oh.
No.
Your weaving skills are terrible. I could show you if that's. I
My
mean,
hair is like wild because I haven't been sleeping correctly.
right. Do any of us recognize it?
Dwyer's
Can
fixing
we
it.
roll to see if we recognize it?
Yes, feel free to roll.
What am I rolling?
I believe it would be history.
Okie dokie.
Why does it now say it's Tim Curry?
That's because I wrote it.
I make an Arcana to see
'Cause
if
it-
it's like a magical symbol.
Because of legend.
Yes.
So I rolled a 1, so I'm going to say that legitimately in character, Dwyer just sees Ongrak.
Okay.
Fair.
Yes,
I rolled a 17.
You may roll Arcana to see if it is a magical symbol.
I'm bad at both of those.
Yes, you think it might be a magical symbol. You don't know where you've seen it, but you think it might be. I didn't see, but did anyone score higher than a 15
I got a 17 on my history.
on your history? Okay. So when you were at the ladies' house, the Orzov Manor, you saw an item, although you can't quite recall which one, but you saw an item in her vault that had this symbol on it.
I relay that to everyone.
I will allow an intelligence check to see if you can remember the item.
Ooh, I'm bad at this. That's 19! Whee!
Wow.
The mirror was held in a wooden box. That box had this symbol on it.
I will relay all of that. Do we think the lady of the house might know more about this? And kind of gestures to the macrame table.
Possibly.
Would
So-
she tell us if she does?
If we pay her enough.
Given the look of her abode, I believe she could probably buy and sell every single one of us several times over. I'm
Yeah,
not
but she's Orzhov.
entirely certain of my own value, but and kind of gestures to the squishy normal people.
Listen, I'm invaluable.
Yes, you are.
That is true.
In
That's
that
what my parents told me.
there is no price anyone would pay for you.
That's exactly what my parents told
Exactly
me.
what I had in my head as I said it.
Yeah, thinking I could not put a price on this. Yes.
You could not pay me enough.
All right. So that is the thing that Slender was doing. That is what we know about it. Granny, what's Granny doing over the last 3 weeks?
Checking up on the various mossy bits I've planted.
As many as Dwyer could find, they've been cleaned.
Yeah,
several-
I've gotten clever about not having you find them.
Several of
That
your
makes
mossy
sense.
bits have taken hold, but most of them have either been removed or were unable to find anything to root or nourish. You have not yet had a chance to check on the one that you were able to leave at the Markov estate, however. But the one in the Rakdos bar is still going.
Wasn't that one turned to ash?
Yes, but it turns out I thought you planted another one.
No, I'd intended to, but then we got on with the drinking.
Then no. Then that one is also gone. Sorry. However, your moss has largely taken over portions of the station house. There are a couple of walls now that are essentially papered in your moss.
As well as a number of personnel, apparently.
Yeah, one in particular. But the people who work there actually seem to appreciate it. They like the additional green-ish color that it provides. And you've even seen a few of the people who work behind the equipment counter on occasion watering the moss.
I will be at my desk muttering to my moss. Now listen, just because we're in a police station doesn't mean you get to be all lawful on me.
It looks at you,
Lawful moss. Lawful
and you
moss.
feel like it grows, like its edges grow straighter as you say that.
Listen, I don't have to handle this sarcasm from you.
It quivers mossily.
We're not done with this. We're going to talk about this. It's like my child went off and joined an emo band.
Screw you, Dad! I'm gonna follow the rules! Okay, so that is where we're at then. Enfield, you over the 3 weeks as you're attempting to sort of run down every lead, you do have one lead that you just didn't. Oh God, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on, I'm sorry. Oh.
Just untie.
Thank you. Oh. You do have one lead that you had not yet had a chance to run down as far as where Dak may be. which is that he has been known. There's a particular sort of squatter colony just in between the Gruul and Rakdos territories where those two meet. There is sort of a tent city of people who are in neither guild, who aside from the fact that they're used to their shit being burned down on a fairly regular basis, call that area home. And you have heard that someone matching Dak's description may have been hiding out there. But you only found this out yesterday, and you haven't had a chance to run it down yet.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm planning on doing, so if anyone asks me, that's what I would say.
I will help you.
Sorry, I'm
Actually, just wanting away from my desk at this point.
I'll come along so that I can bring more moss with me.
Do I have to make a sleight of hand or anything to copy this symbol down onto a piece of paper?
No, you can just make a copy.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys are all heading as a group?
Mhm.
How are you getting there? It's
In the car! Let's take the car!
Okay.
We have a car.
I instantly hop in and start driving.
Excellent.
Without letting us get in?
No, I'll let you guys get in.
I
Pedal
sit up
to the
front.
floor.
I sit up front
Batman
so that
driving.
I can pull Solendra's leg off the pedal. I don't know if we
I
have.
should do
I
that.
can't remember
I
if we
should
have a
do
brake, but I'm just
Push
kind of like.
You lift my leg off, so I move the other leg over. If you move that one, I push it with my hand.
Enfield is our emergency brake.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
Randy's gonna ride on the back, just holding on tight.
Aren't you the siren?
That's why I'm on the back.
Yeah. Wee woo, wee woo. So you guys, you make it over to this tent city, and it is rough. These people have very little. And frankly, calling it a tent city even might be a bit aggrandizing. It's people are constructing shelters out of whatever they can get. Random roof shingles that have been tied together over moss packed with twigs and branches, over some planks maybe if they're lucky. You see that someone has taken several chairs that are in various states of disrepair and managed to create a little tunnel for themselves underneath.
They have a pillow fort?
Essentially, yeah.
A pillow fort.
It's not great. The ground is charred and black. There's soot everywhere. This is probably a city block worth, I would say, of just absolute squalor. It's dirty. It smells constantly of burning trash.
Hey, this looks like my neighborhood.
But there are people here, and where there are people, even in the worst of circumstances, there is some amount of hope or cheer. And so the people are trying to get along with their lives. There are, thankfully, it seems, no children. This is mostly adults, fairly young, but still adults of a variety of races. The primary unifying thing among them is that no one here is wearing guild colors. There are several, or nearest to you when you get out, are three young men who are warming themselves ironically enough, around a small fire that they've managed to build.
Did we get a physical description of Dak Faden at all?
Yeah, so he is a human. He is of slightly above average height. He has shoulder-length hair parted in the middle that is brown. And he commonly wears Izzet colors, even though he is not currently part of the guild.
Okay. When I was whatever led me here, is there any further leads, or is it just like a general area he was last seen in the vicinity of, kind of thing?
Seen somewhere over there. Someone knew somebody who said that they saw something.
Okay. So I imagine once we've all exited the car and it's been locked, because we do that. I can't remember exactly how, but we do it.
Whoop whoop.
Yep.
Press that button 3 times. Not a 4th, but 3.
We do that. And I will head over to the 3 young men.
Okay.
One of these days, I'm going to push that button 7 times just to see what happens.
I will put Granny on my shoulder and head over to those 3 young men.
Up, you.
Yeah, it's like Baby Yoda.
Oh, it hurts my heart.
I love Baby Yoda.
I think Baby Yoda has.
I don't even go here, and I love it.
I think Baby Yoda has been designed from the ground up to simply be the most adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like the written description for that character must have simply been totes adorbs, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Welcome to millennial script writing.
All right, so the 3 men hanging around the fire, they've got coats that they're like, yeah, what'd you do? Well, I told him. I said, if you're gonna, like, they're just kind of mumbling and muttering to themselves or vaguely to each other.
I literally will just stand and wait for them to react to me to see how I'm going to react to them.
Millennium and shrimp.
Oh, Rain, I love you so much for that.
I actually don't get that.
It's a Discworld reference.
I even know Discworld pretty well. I don't get that one.
It's
Ron.
Yeah, it's the 3 homeless guys that
Millennium
wander
Hand
around.
Oh, wow. I didn't even make that.
And then there's Duckman, who forgets he has a duck on his head.
Duckman. Yeah.
Okay.
And Coffin Henry.
Coffin Henry, I remember.
And then there's the talking dog that nobody knows talks.
Yes. Anywho.
Oh no, it's Gaspode. Wrong dog.
Gaspode, yep.
Yeah.
They really don't say anything to you. One of them looks over, kind of gives you and then they just kind of go back to what they were not doing.
I'm gonna kind of look at Granny on my shoulder and kind of I don't know how to deal with people. Just kind of bribe and kind of just lifts a fist.
So I puts the fist down.
Yeah, it's bribe. And we'll just take out a gold coin and hold it slightly over the fire so that it glints and they can see it. Kind of
They'll look at the coin and then they look at you, but they don't say anything. They're just waiting.
We're looking for someone.
Enfield.
Yes.
Moss is catching on fire.
Oh, and I will move, take a step back. Take a step back and kind of pat it. I will water it later.
Who are you looking for?
A human. Above average height. Brown hair. Wears Izzet colors.
No
If
one
you
around
see-
here wears any colors. There's a couple
Then
of
he would
humans.
stand out.
Most of us are humans. Pretty much. Well, there's Elfin Bob, but that's actually a human.
I am not looking for Elfin Bob
There's Dwarf Joe.
or Dwarf Joe.
He actually is a dwarf. Does this person have a name?
And I will kind of look at Dwyer as the vaguely like the most like level-headed and kind of be like,
Let's call him Handsome Dak.
Handsome
That-
Dak it is.
I want to just put my hand on Dwyer's shoulder, summon my familiar, and just start making sweeps. See if I can see him through the familiar's eyes.
You know, in retrospect, we probably should have gotten the precinct artist to make a picture of him.
So you're looking for some guy named Dak?
correct.
There's Dick. There's Dawkin. Over there, that's Dockery. There's Old Man Dickens.
Enfield.
Yes.
Is it true that the Izzet have a really hard time letting go of a formula once it's started?
Is it true?
Yeah.
Is it true?
I'm going to climb down off of Enfield. I'm going to pick up a stick and start tapping half of Shave and a Haircut on the wall.
Every time you get to the end, Enfield will have to like tap themselves.
You don't really get much of a response. The guys around the fire just kind of look at you with sort of a disgruntled annoyance, but they don't react.
That's a common reaction to me.
Yeah. Solyndra, give me an investigation check.
Investigation. Of course, it has to be not perception. Investigation's under.
Actually, I would allow perception.
Haha, I have advantage on that.
Never mind then. I'm joking. Perception is fine.
Just to help Shakes, I'll stop tapping.
Yeah, like
9.
No, you're just not really. See, wait, how did you end up with a 9? I thought you have advantage.
Yeah, I rolled a 7 and a 1.
Oh, you did. Boy, that sucks.
Uh-huh. Well, I have to go with the Hawks.
No, but it added them. It added them. It didn't add 2 to each roll. It added 7 plus 1 plus. No.
No, it dropped the 1.
Yeah, it did. Okay, you're right.
Unless I use my perception.
No, yeah. You did it correctly. When you're viewing through your hawk, I thought you do use your perception. Can you double check the rule on that?
Yep, I'm looking at it now. Give me a second.
I think it uses its perception if you send it off on its own. I think if you're in it.
That's the case. I've been underusing my familiar in other games.
yeah, same.
Double check. Familiars are super good.
Only thing it specifies in there is I gain the benefits of any special senses it has.
Mm-hmm.
During that time, I'm deaf and blind regarding my own senses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you use yours in the bird.
Well, then my perception would be make an 11. So it'd
Okay.
be +4 instead of +2.
Yeah, well, that's the difference between failing and not. Because it gets you over 10. So, you do see someone who is inside an actual tent that looks like it's built out of a few rugs slung over a wire that's been strung between two cut like big branches. Who, at least, like, you can't see them very well, but you can see their hair, and you can tell that it is male and human-like.
I'm going to tap Dwyer's shoulder and be like, follow my hand. And I'm going to use keeping an eye, having the hawk like make big circles so it's not super obvious, and just keep an eye on that person while pointing us in that direction. So I don't leave the vision. That way, if they start running or anything, we have visual on them.
We have aerial surveillance.
Can I move Solendra's body without?
Yeah.
Because she just can't see, right? So okay, so I
Yeah.
See, here. I can
carefully
still
guide.
use the hawk to point, going, oh, this is weird.
Getting like dizzy and nauseous.
Yeah, it's like whenever you're looking at a camera or VR and you're like looking at yourself from a different angle than you're used to, and you're like, wait.
Yeah. Also, it's weird trying to remember to move your legs. Do you tell the others that you're doing this, or do you just kind of go off?
I leave it up to Dwyer. It's more of, hey, I'm focused on this. You're right here. I know you're right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm whispering it to you. That way, I don't know exactly if anybody around us is
Yeah.
after. So it's like, hey.
So, Dwyer,
So
do you say anything?
I don't. I kind of look over to see what Granny and Enfield are doing, and if they are still engaged in this tapping and conversation with the other men, no, I kind of like sneak us off a little bit.
Okay. So I'm gonna sort of break away and just follow you two for a moment. So the bird guides you, and you guide Solendra, and you make it over there. This person is napping. You can hear them lightly snoring in their tent.
Get there, I'll go back to my normal vision and everything.
I heard a noise.
Aw, Portia.
Yay!
Yeah, thank you, God.
Amelia approves.
So Dwyer turns to Solendra and is kind of like, who is this? Because he just followed, you just said follow, and he did, and now we're here, and he has no idea what we've
It's maybe
come to.
you stand guard out here. I'll go in and confirm before bringing you in.
It's not. When I say tent, it's more like a.
Like a tarp.
Yeah, like it covers their
Not
body.
contained.
There's no going in, so to speak. It's like you guys from outside can see about as much as anyone would be able to see.
Oh, it's like a bivouac.
Yeah.
Now I'm just imagining like the feet are sticking out under it.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case, just kind of kick the leg a little.
Huh? What? Huh? What? Who are you? Answer me, fool!
I'll pull out my badge.
He points at you and flames shoot out of his hand.
Oh, jeez.
Roll a dex save.
Okay.
Enfield, do you smell toast?
I don't smell anything.
9!
Don't have a nose.
That does make it difficult to smell toast, I
Morning,
suppose.
why you do me dirty like this?
Well, you got lucky. You take.
I only half die.
Well, it's a cantrip. You take and a low level one. You take 3 fire damage
Son of a bitch.
as you are singed.
As it just like singes my hair, pull out my.
Yeah, and he's like standing up, but also kind of stuck in the tent.
And just go hold it there.
What is? Who are you? What are you?
PDF. We want to have a few words with you.
And now we both have our badges out.
I didn't do anything to his sister. What?
Whose sister?
Nothing. Never mind. Who are you?
I'll look at Dwyer. Do you still have the manacles?
Always. It's protocol.
Thank you. I think we may have to take this one in for a little bit more questioning.
You're not taking me anywhere.
Am I right to assume you're Dak, Faden?
Look over there. And he misty steps.
Can you keep track of him?
So,
Does he miss a step towards us?
well, there's only so many ways to go, unfortunately. So a man who is unmistakably a magic user, misty steps about 15 feet away from you. He is half naked. He is wearing no shirt. And only one boot. And he has a tent, or what used to be a tent, and now just looks like a couple of shabby rugs, sort of draped over him, that he's like trying to pull off, while simultaneously attempting to run away.
I'm gonna blind him.
Ooh.
How does that work?
Let me click the spell and I'll tell you.
I'll say if I can still see him, I was going to hex him.
Range.
Con save.
Constitution.
Okay. I will let that action happen, and then we'll go into rounds. So, let me make his con save, and then I want all of you guys to go into initiative. With the exception that Solyndra and Granny are going last. So I want the two of you to roll anyway, but you're going to go later than other people because you've taken actions. Con save, what's your spell save DC?
13.
He does make it. He is not blinded.
Damn it.
Okay. So it's looking like it's going to be Enfield, then Dwyer, then Solyndra, then Rain. Enfield, Dwyer, Solyndra, Rain. Okay. Enfield, what do you do?
Run over and try to restrain him.
Okay. You can definitely cross the 20 feet, or 15 feet, rather. So I think it's a grappling check, which is a strength.
Yep. Ooh, it's an 11.
You have grabbed him.
Mhm.
He is struggling. You've grabbed him around his waist, and he's get off of me, copper! I didn't take it. And you can't prove anything.
Wait, no, we wish to talk.
Hang on. Is anyone else taking action?
I'm still going to hex him.
Okay. Now remind me what that does.
I just do bonus damage, and he has disadvantage on an ability check with my...
What ability?
I'm going to give him Dex.
Okay. Okay.
That way, if he tries to acrobatics his way out of this, yes.
And I should have asked this a moment ago, but Dwyer, are you doing anything?
I was actually going to cast Bless on Enfield, Solyndra, and Granny.
Okay. Y'all are blessed. Hashtag blessed. Granny, anything else you're going to try to do?
No. I think I've done enough.
He struggles against your grip, and it looks like he's getting ready to cast something, and then he just looks at you, and he realizes, like, he looks at you, and he looks at himself, and he just sort of, like, realizes that, like, you haven't hurt him, really. He goes, all right, you caught the greatest thief in the multiverse.
I'll put that on my resume.
As well you should.
I'm not here to talk to you about, well, I am here to talk to you about a theft, but I'm more here to talk to you about fire.
Well, let me go, and let me put my shirt and shoes on, and I'll talk to you about whatever you want.
You can grab your clothes and put them on once you are secured in the precinct.
Your shoes are necessary for you to talk.
Yes.
No. Enfield, not biologically. He's making demands.
I'm going to look at Enfield and be like, how many manacles do we have?
Manacles? No. You don't need to put me in chains. You're just here to talk, right?
I'm going to just hold my hand out for the one Dwyer's hat. I'm going to slap him on. I'll be like...
Oh, he's going to resist you if you try to put manacles on him.
Okay. Because I still have my hex on him.
Mm-hmm. This is a weird one. We'll call it sleight of hand for you.
And you're blessed.
Yeah. 14.
You put manacles on him. He, like, tries to pull his hands out of the way, but he just can't manage to do it.
I just kind of lift him up under his armpits like a toddler.
Hey!
Just-
This will help keep you from casting another spell, I say as I, like, move my hand through the singed blue hair.
Well, you woke me up.
You know, it's a bad look to assault an officer of the law.
It's bad luck to wake up a planeswalker when they're taking a peaceful nap.
By any chance, is my hawk, like, flying overhead?
Your hawk is flying wherever you kind of want your hawk to be flying.
Can I just, like, because I can telepathically talk to it.
Mhm.
I just wanted to crap on his head as it flies by.
Sorry,
It's
boss.
just a word.
I don't really need to right now.
Thank you. I'm in the splash zone, dude. It's not a good look for slightly inanimate objects, okay?
Yeah, people already confuse you for a statue.
It was worth a shot.
Okay, so he is stuck, he is shackled, he is grappled. What are you doing with him?
I'll take some moss off my hat and cover his eyes with it.
What is this foul creation?
It's a plant. What?
It's gross and weird. Get it off. Get off
It's
me.
harder to cast spells when you can't see.
Ah! Ah!
Fair enough. And I will just like turn and carry him towards the car.
Okay.
Just for a small, secure location type thing. I'm not planning on driving anywhere.
It
It's just a
seems
case
like he struggles a little bit, and then he just sort of acquiesces. Like, you guys have just demoralized him, and so he just goes a little limp.
Enfield's kind of like talking as he's walking, just kind of like going, now I'm just going to sit you down somewhere slightly. I'm told it's comfortable. Just stop wriggling. We can talk.
You have the right to do as I say. You have the right to complain.
I'll get you shoes if that's necessary for that. Still kind of confused by the necessary, like, I will talk if you clothe me thing.
I'll sit in the driver's seat going, okay, should we take him back to the precinct to interrogate him?
We can interrogate him here, surely.
I'm just
Time Time
This is
being,
one time I'm trying to do protocol and get evil.
Squire puts his cloak around the prisoner's shoulders. Dax's.
and I will carefully take the moss off his eyes and just like put it on my shoulder. I'll deal with that later. I think we should probably talk to him now, as time appears to be important.
What do you want to know?
What do you know about
There have.
I'm gonna just like, if there's a part in the car that isn't vital, I'm gonna just take a knife, stick it there.
It's proprietary. Okay.
Don't worry, I can stick some moss in it. It'll look fine.
At this point, my
You're giving me now an in-game headache too.
Moss is like Windex to me.
It cleans things.
Big fat Greek wedding. It's supposed to be a cure for everything.
Oh.
No one's asked him a question yet.
Solandra said, "What do you know about this?" and put up the
stuck
picture.
the symbol.
Who is in charge? One of you lead. Just one.
I don't know who you just pointed at.
I'm gonna say Solandra. Just
Okay.
Solandra has the symbol. Solandra did the research.
yeah, I'm going to stick up the just dagger into the wall. What do you know about this symbol? Obviously, piss still.
Where'd you get that?
It's the symbol that showed up when all these fires and mishaps started.
What do you mean showed up?
If you lay out a map and pinpoint all the occurrences, this is what showed up.
And who are you again?
GDF. The police here.
I see.
Special.
We handle Ravnica's most sensitive cases.
We work outside the guilds to keep the guilds in check.
We moss everything.
We moss some things.
Oh, it would
We
be everything if
de-escalate.
Dwyer wouldn't keep taking it.
We de-escalate. Moss has nothing to do with that.
Oh, just give it time.
That is a symbol of a great evil. A great egotistical evil.
Did I get
Detail,
yours?
please.
That is the symbol of Nicol Bolas. He is impossibly old. A gigantic dragon, bigger than Niv. He is single-minded in his desire to control or conquer everything. He doesn't just take over a country or continent or a city. He takes over entire planes and reshapes them in his image.
What if this city is the plane?
Then he's running for mayor by force.
Doesn't
Does
get my vote.
Does Nicobolas have any connection to dog people? I'm still unclear on the biology of it.
Dog people. I don't know what he's been doing most recently, so I couldn't say.
What about mouthy people out of a book?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nephilim. I've said that wrong, I'm sure.
No, that you said correctly.
Thank you.
I would be surprised if he were connected to the Nephilim, although it's not impossible. If he's planning to come here, he has certainly been laying his plans for quite a long, long time. Nicobolus makes schemes in the scale of eons, millennia. He plans so far in advance that the seeds he plants are either forgotten or have become venerated as gods themselves. The Nephilim are old. Older probably than Bolas. They're native to this plane. Though you probably don't recall, or perhaps even your parents might not recall, but the Nephilim attempted to reassert themselves here. They were what once was, and they would like to be again.
What do you
So
know?
possibly unconnected.
What was that, Cylinder?
What do you know of the Lazartap?
I don't know what Lazatep is.
I'll Mage Hand, take out the piece of metal that I have. Recognize this, any?
No. That's not from any plane I've been to.
Do you know anything about the Mother Swarm?
Wouldn't you know more about that than I?
Different swarm, apparently.
I'm afraid I haven't heard that phrase.
Did you steal a mirror recently?
Maybe.
A mirror that came in a box with this symbol on it. Possibly.
No. No. That I can confirm.
Hmm.
Where was it stolen from?
I will repeat the name, I can't remember. I know we said it like 5 minutes ago, but, you know,
Came from a high lady from the Orzhov.
thank you.
Ravnica or Zov?
Ah. Yes. Is it Orzhov or Karlov?
I think her family name is Karlov, but it's an offshoot of the Orzhov family.
Yes. Okay. No. I make a point of not stealing from people who, should they happen to find me, would be able to torture me after my death as well.
I mean, she didn't kill me, and I kind of set her house on fire. Oh, no, it seems like a nice lady.
I'm sure that makes for a good story, but I couldn't say anything about a... It's a mirror, you say?
Correct.
What does it do?
I believe it contains one of her ancestors. I'm unsure of how the whole thing works.
Out of character, we're sharing a lot of information.
What'd you say?
I said out of character, we're volunteering a lot of information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say I've heard of such a device. I mean, let me rephrase. I've stolen plenty of things that do something like that. Hold a dead, beloved relative, or contain spirits from another realm. It's not that hard, it would seem, to create a device that does that. But did I steal this particular one? No.
Did you steal one that doesn't have any entities in it?
Not from the Orzhov.
But do you have it?
No.
Fuck.
A good question, though. I can see how you thought that you had out-clevered me. But you see, I am the greatest thief in the multiverse.
It's outsmarted, not outclevered.
Also, I feel like the person who took this mirror probably is a better thief than you are.
I
I'm gonna
sincerely
leave it.
We
doubt
haven't
that.
been able to catch them, but we did catch you.
I was gonna lean into and feel like I was just gonna ask to borrow it.
You caught me in a moment where I wasn't currently on the run from anyone. Except for... Anyway,
Except for someone that you've done something to their sister.
No, I said nothing. Your hair is lovely, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Also,
I
would
take
you like
great
your
care.
manacles back? And he actually just hands you the manacles.
Oh, yes, thank you. I am meant to keep those on me.
Good.
That very long pause of people slowly trying to figure something out.
This is why we needed.
Enfield is not surprised. He's ex-Izzet. Enfield is just like, I was built by these people. Manacles, that makes sense.
Now, I'm willing to help.
Oh, thank you.
You seem earnest. But I'll tell you this. I have no desire to be here when Bolus shows up. And were you capable of doing what I can, you wouldn't be here either.
Yes, the planeswalker.
So, are you going to help us, or are you going to run away?
I will help you for as long as this conversation lasts. After that...
And then you'll run away.
Absolutely I will.
Out of character real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Would Lindra know if the interrogation rooms contain something to make it anti-magic in there?
Not really.
Can I roll insight to see if he's on the level?
Sure.
Damn it.
Like, if you can cast, anti-magic aura or something, then you could make it be that way, but it isn't that way.
22.
I didn't know if there was a bunch of lead or something, so he couldn't just, planes walk out of there, so he's stuck here. Taking my title.
I got a 22 on insight.
Yeah, he's honest. He will run away the moment this conversation is done.
And just out of curiosity, with my passive perception of 19, did I see him take the manacles off?
No. You saw, he flicked his wrists and they were off.
Okay.
I was going to say, I have a 19 in perception as well. We got
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just nodding because he seems, he's on the level. I'm just like, yeah.
I'll answer any other questions that you ask as honestly as I can.
If this giant dragon bastard person were inciting riots and trying to get people to turn on each other, what do you suppose his next move would be?
Are people turning on each other?
Are people turning on each other?
Yes, I'm pretty sure we were, riots and things, yes. And grease elementals and incitement of,
I mean, to be fair, the goblins didn't turn on each other. We got there in time.
Yeah, no, they were turning on the guards, and the guards were turning on them. And
If
they were
you-
still
we got there in
turning.
time.
if
They
you-
were still rioting.
being this open, this brazen, he will be invading soon.
Where would be the best place for invasion?
The center of the district?
Okay.
And how do we stop that?
You heard me say that I'll be leaving once we're done with this conversation, correct?
Yes, so how do we stop that?
I have no idea.
Is he sitting in the middle of all of us?
He's in the car. I assume that you put him in the back seat.
Yeah.
I'm probably sitting next to him. Just
can-
put him down and then sat down.
If possible, I want to try to get behind him.
He's
That would be very strange for you to manage to do in the car.
sat down.
Yeah.
I was thinking
It'd
more
be you would have to crawl over some people to then get into the trunk.
He does that.
Very stealthily.
Like, excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah.
You didn't see anything.
Say again.
I was imagining more of a van.
Okay, I can see that. And it sort of is, but it's got like rows of seats.
We're talking mystery machine. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to identify his agents?
Well, if they attack you and shout "For Bolas" when they do it, they probably work for him.
Is there a way to identify them before they identify themselves?
Not usually. I can tell you, Dovin Bond's probably a shill for him, though. Ral is probably working for him a little bit, too. He's naming guild leaders, by the way.
Which guild?
Uh,
Which guild?
I was going to say, some of those,
He
those
just
sounded
named
familiar.
Azorius and Izzet.
Oh no.
I heard Domri was getting some outside assistance. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what it were. That's Golgari, by the way.
Okay.
Or not Golgari, Gruul. Gruul.
And which one was which of the other two? Was Devon Barnes, Azorius, and
Yeah.
Ral? Is it? Ral.
Is it Ral Zarek? And Domri is Gruul. Frankly, I don't trust Kaya either, but I don't know what side she's on. That would be Orzhov.
Thank you. What would the guild leaders have to benefit from inviting what appears to be the end?
What does
To the
anyone
plane.
with a megalomaniacal need for power unending ever seek to gain from someone more powerful than they?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
A measure of that power.
Safe.
Oh.
When he does come, they'll be safe.
Safety, perhaps, but if they're working for him rather than merely allowing him, I would imagine that it would be for some more obvious reward.
If he invaded,
Like-
would that draw back Jace Beleren?
Probably. Yeah. Probably. Jace can't really get enough of showing up and being the law. So, yeah, he'll probably show up. Another reason for me to get the fuck out.
That seems like a good reason for some guilds, especially the Azorius, to be inciting this.
So, any other questions, or can I go?
As he asked that, can I just take the back of my dagger? I want to just pop him in the back of the head, try and knock him out.
Give me a stealth check. Because you have not been stealthy this whole time, so let's see if you can position yourself.
27.
Okay. He doesn't really pay any attention to you until you move to take aggressive action. At which point, something that you don't know that he has, but he has a danger sense, kicks in, and he immediately turns and blinks 60 feet away.
Wait, take some of my Oh.
Why? You hear him yelling from 60 feet down the street.
Seconded.
He's kind of, Hey, can you take some of my moss with you?
I'm just
Oh,
gonna go
yes.
now. Bye.
Just
Help
a little
us.
bit. A patch.
What you see, he
It's
waves
lawful.
at you.
It's lawful moss.
He waves at you. He closes his eyes and stands stock still for a moment. Then he looks down. And he seems
Problem?
a mounting panic begins to creep into his expression, and he's moving a bit more frantically.
Gonna get out of the car to watch.
I want to go to him.
I hear
Yeah,
1
yeah.
in 5 planeswalkers.
We'll start walking over. No aggressive action, just like walking over to see what is up.
He doesn't stop you.
You,
Is everything all right?
No.
just
You
put a
look
piece of
distressed.
moss on his shoulder.
Does this help?
You can't leave, can you? Someone's
No.
blocking your exit.
Ah. You're stuck.
Come with us to the station, unless you
Where's
Might.
the station?
just get in the car. We'll take you.
No.
Isn't it in
Where
the?
is
Isn't
the
it?
station?
Isn't it in the? I thought it was
In
in
the
the center.
center.
Of the
It is in the center of town.
I'm trying not to tell him.
It's over by the Golgari.
Enfield will just say the street name. He's so dumb. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think I'll be accompanying you. I have.
If what you've said is true, is there anywhere you can hide on this plane?
I don't know, but I'd rather find out than not.
Oh,
Or
you said
help
that you're
us
the
stop
greatest
it?
thief.
Yes.
So, first of all, how would you get an invading army in here?
Well, I don't know. So the first problem you'd have to solve is the fact that unless you are a planeswalker yourself, living things don't make it through the ways.
There have been incursions.
Certain extraordinarily powerful artifacts are sometimes able to.
Like a mirror?
That could do it for one or two. It couldn't do it for an entire invasion force.
I'm going to look at some ledger. Do we know of any other thefts?
That's what I was about to do.
Silver and transportation magic.
Okay, just picturing the map. Where is that center token? Like, that's between the horns? Roughly.
City Hall.
If they set up a
Sorry, District Hall. I apologize.
district hall, city hall, whatever. What if they use that mirror as not a full summoning, but as a beacon for a spell? Have a more use it as an anchor to hold a spell and connect to the planes.
Who are you?
Just another thief like you.
Because that's actually maybe right. That would work. What you're suggesting, that would work. If it were... Okay. Well, it's been lovely chatting with you. I am leaving.
Hand on his shoulder.
No, I really don't think you want to do that right now. I'm pretty agitated. And as he's talking, the sky cracks open with lightning and a wave of energy ripples from the center of the district out overhead. And as it passes, the sky turns a dark black and purple roiling smoky cloud. Streaks of lightning are peeling across the sky, and you can hear what sounds almost like a shriek that is coming from... Yeah, I You hear that?
The foley is just unbelievable.
You hear what sounds like a shriek almost, coming from that direction, reaching a high pitch and then maintaining until it turns more into sort of a background hum. Dak looks at Solyndra. His eyes are narrow, and his face is nothing but fear.
I feel like that might be a clue.
You asked how he'll invade. If you want to go find out, that's where he is.
Last question. Will destroying the mirror stop the spell?
Not now.
Shit.
Enfield will kind of like tighten his grip a little, lean down, and just be like, "You go, and you help as many people on your way as you can." And we'll let go. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the
Sorry.
lobby.
God was speaking to me.
Oh, divine.
Mm-hmm.
Did we just get divine intervention?
A little.
And we don't even have our cleric.
So, Shakes, I apologize. You were saying?
Enfield just like tightens their grip on Dak's shoulder slightly, like pushing the thumb in just a fraction, and just leans down and says, "You will go and help as many people on your way as you can." And then we'll let go of his shoulder.
I'll see what I can do. And he actually teleports away this time, not Misty Step.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rush to the car, get it started, waiting for everybody to join me.
Dwyer rushes in.
Mm-hmm. Enfield does not attempt to brake in any way. Just let Solyndra drive.
Sure.
I am the loudest siren that has ever been heard.
And I put moss on Dak's shoulder. He hasn't shaken it off.
True.
Still there.
Yeah.
Growl, my children, growl!
It's alive!
Enfield has become attached. He just wants to see it flourish.
So, can I, Batman drive towards the center?
Yeah, so, eventually you get to a point where there is so much traffic, people are crowding the streets trying to get away from the center. You are trying to swim upstream, and your progress eventually slows down to a crawl and then to a stop. Hordes of people are running past you.
I think it would be better if we walked.
All guilds, all races, screaming, running away.
Mm-hmm.
There is utter panic.
We'll get out of the car and put Granny on my shoulder and start walking.
Dwyer uses Radiant Soul.
What's that do?
I use my action to unleash the divine energy within myself, causing my eyes to glimmer and two luminous incorporeal wings to sprout from your back. And basically, I want to transform and kind of get a little bit of height, and then make way.
Make way.
Thank
For
you.
Prince Ali.
All right,
Prince Ali.
make an intimidation check with advantage.
20.
Hey.
All right. I'll allow it. I will allow it. You used a thing that typically is safe for combat as a non-combat thing. So I will tip the balance in your favor. Because it's cool. So, Sure. People are... They're running from something that they're deathly afraid of, but it doesn't take them too much effort to at least part, and so
Yeah, little.
they do. They're still running past you screaming, but now they're
Totally
running
fine.
past you screaming.
That's all I wanted, to be like a rock in a river.
Yeah.
Like
Round.
Moses parting the crowd.
That's me.
Can I I'm gonna try and be like, Enfield, can you carry me while I go with my mom to see what's going on up ahead?
Yes. I'm gonna go with yes. Just attempt to like.
I mean, we've established that you can carry him before.
Yeah.
Have we? Have
Yeah.
I carried Solandra before? Oh, okay then. Yeah. I will do the scoop lift of just like. It's gonna sound weird. Bear with me. Of like scooping my arm like between their legs, so they're like literally like sat on my arm and like holding to the back of them, because it's just easier to carry them that way than try and baby hold them. So just like
Yeah.
that.
Slender gets a momentary thrill before passing into the eyes of her hawk.
And it means Solandra can hold on to my head.
Okay. Cylindra, you are in your hawk. Flying madly towards the center of town, the car is not able to go quite as fast as you, though it is beginning to pick up speed once again.
I'm driving.
Oh, I thought we were still walking. If we're in the car, I'll just sit Solandra on a
I'll
seat.
just let someone else drive and.
Oh, yeah, it had seemed like you guys had gotten back in the car. I thought that's what the whole, like, parts was for.
I thought that's what
That's
it was
what I
for.
was going for.
Oh, okay. Then we
I'll
get
just
back in the
lean
car.
over.
But I'll stay on top so that I keep parting.
I've just got an arm across Solandra's chest then in the kind of, mum seatbelt thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we have
I sit down.
seatbelts.
I sit down in the driver's seat and take out the thing that I've been hiding, which is driver's goggles.
Yes!
But nice pair of gloves.
It's Toad of Toad Hall. I love it.
I can't believe we're letting Granny drive.
The wind
Yep.
and the willows. All right.
Desperate time calls for desperate measures.
Can you
And-
make
and
your
fields
wings
with a
black
vase.
blink back and forth?
like turn signals, like one wing up, one glowing wing, and
I
then
was thinking
the
like
other
a
one.
police signal.
Oh,
Lights.
So we drive.
I was waiting. So you guys are driving. The hawk is going. So, Solandra, here's what your hawk sees. You in your hawk see. What used to be the Azorius-controlled Guild Senate Hall is leveled. And at the top of the stairway is currently a giant silvery portal.
Yeah, that's bad.
Clouds are swirling around it, and it is a portal that is an easy 100 feet in height and width. And out of it are marching formations of what look like the Egyptian god Anubis, but human-sized, slightly larger, like about 6.5 feet tall, all of them, carrying spears and coated from head to toe in the blue metal that you've learned is called lazatep. And when I say marching in formation, I mean that they are walking out in phalanxes of 200 soldiers apiece. There is a massive army that is already beginning to form in the courtyard area. That just at a quick head count, a quick cadre count is at least 3,000 just in the time that you've been trying to make your way back.
You
Well, we
relate
did
any
our
of that
best.
to us?
We did our best. All hail our new overlord. Yeah, so I guess
I think now's the
Dwyer
time
see
that
it
we
too from-
contact Sergeant Jackson.
This is when we need the. We need Moogs. We need all the
Aw.
clear. About how far away are we?
You are... So, it takes you another 10 minutes or so before eventually, even with Dwyer's help, you just can't keep driving the car through. It slows your pace down. After about an hour, you finally make it to the precinct house. Along the way, so you eventually get to a point where there are no more people running away, and your pace significantly quickens, but that's because there's no one here now.
Mm-hmm.
If we're at the precinct house, I'm gonna run in. Is there still that person that gives us our equipment and stuff? Are they still there?
No, they fucked right off, but the sergeant is there.
I'm going to say, hey, Sarge, I'm going to bust in there, and I'm going to look for those 2 canisters I left them
Okay.
of the goo.
You find them.
I got a Molotov. Got it.
Okay.
Or a hand grenade. When I mix them, throw it. It explodes.
What are you doing, Amelia?
What is she doing?
So she's just on the ledge above me, which is, by the way, somewhere she doesn't typically go, and is just sort of like pawing at something and seems uncertain as to whether or not she's gonna. I don't know.
It's a ghost.
She is also accepting her new overlord.
Yes.
Nicole
Always a
Bowler.
ghost.
All right.
It's a
so,
ghost.
As Cylindra runs back out of the back room, and I assume the rest of you are actually finally able to run in, the sergeant stops you. Wait! I have not abandoned my post, and neither should you.
We're not.
We aren't.
I have reports of people who need us. Before the radios went dead, there is a house. There are children trapped inside. It is on fire, and their parents cannot seem to be able to get back in to help them. They have requested aid, but have found none. The soldiers...
Where is it?
The soldiers sent this over to us because, frankly, they are busy. Get over to blah, blah, blah Street.
On it. Let's go.
Yeah, I will follow Dwyer.
I'm going to pause at my desk and lean down and whisper to my boss, take over as much as you can, protect what's near you. And then I'm going to run back out after him.
You are sent to a house that is only like 2 blocks away. It is very close, which then makes it more understandable as to why they weren't able to find anyone to help. The house is on fire. The fire is at times glowing blue or green, before other times turning almost a crimson or a purple.
Shit. I'm going to look at Dwyer, take off my bag, shove it against their chest. May the gods have mercy on me. I'm going to try run in.
Okay.
I'm gonna look round the building to see if there's a way to just, find any kind of windows that have, crying children at them.
There are. windows that have crying children at them. The fire is almost entirely on the first floor. There are 2 children, one boy, one girl. The girl is older, the boy is younger. They are standing at the window, looking out, trying to find help, shouting for their parents. There are no adults to be seen.
I'm going to try and climb up to get them.
Okay. Solyndra is attempting to run in. Enfield is attempting to climb up. Dwyer and Granny, what are the 2 of you doing?
So I clicked it in Roll20, but didn't want to interrupt the flow of speaking. But as Solyndra, shoves her bag at Dwyer, he, touches her arm, and I cast Shield of Faith. I don't know if that does anything against fire, but I'm doing it anyway.
Sure, we'll find out.
So, Shield of Faith on Solyndra as she does that. But I'd like to follow Enfield, and if Enfield is going up, I'm going to maybe use my cloak and try to essentially make a little catching net.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Throw the kids. I'll catch them.
I'm going to do one better and turned into a fiendish giant spider.
Oh, that is better for children.
I have a climb speed.
Oh, yes, surely that will soothe them.
Not really what she's thinking about right now.
No, I get it. That's fine. The children are frantic. It's difficult to tell if they're more afraid of the fire or the giant fiendish spider
But
that is now clacking up the wall at them.
But what I'll do is I'll help Enfield up, and then I will start doing webs all the way down as I'm going down to
Okay.
kind of try to arrest any falls.
Okay. As you guys are working on this, you hear an immense noise coming from the portal. It is a low, rumbling hum, and you realize that what you're actually hearing is the sound of many thousands of feet, all running in time, in sync with each other, and some large number of them are headed your way.
Climbing faster.
I'm sorry, there's another cat over here that is being distracting. He keeps, reaching up and pawing at me. He keeps doing the double paw that signals, please pet me. Anyway, what?
Pet him.
I did. Come here.
Pet him more.
This is Oliver.
Hi,
Oliver's being
Oliver.
needy.
Hi, Ollie. Why should I worry? Why should I care?
Yes.
So
Destroy
probably
my
we should
chair, you
worry.
little bastard. All right, anyway.
Probably we should worry because there are thousands of enemy soldiers marching towards us
Just-
in an uncanny time.
Yeah. Okay, so you are able... So, Solyndra, you get into the fire and you realize, holy shit, this room is completely on fire. I cannot do anything here. It's not a will issue. It's not a personal awesomeness problem. It's you will fucking die, and your
This is not fine. This is the opposite of
your
fine.
Your subconscious recognizes that this plan will not do what you want. There is nothing that you can do this way, and so unfortunately you are forced to flee the first floor of the building. However, that puts you in a good position to see some things that are happening on the horizon, and so I will get to you in a moment. Between Dwyer, Enfield, and Granny, the 3 of you are able to coax the children out. They initially do not want to go. They're like, help us! Oh fuck, no!
We're good here. This is fine.
Yeah.
I would ask them if there's anyone else in the building.
No, Mom and Dad ran. They went that way. They told us to meet up with them if we could, but they were afraid of that.
And like as soon as they're within distance, it's a case of just scooping them up because that's what you do with children. You don't wait for them to climb onto you. You just go, yep. Okay.
Yes, you have two slightly squirmy but ultimately thankful children in your grasp. So you're able to pull them down, and they scamper the fuck off. Yes.
No, literally, Enfield like watches them run away, like.
Yes, that is overall what I wanted, I suppose. Yeah.
He doesn't really understand at what age like squishies mature, so he's kind of like, are you gonna? Okay, fine.
Are you good to do this? Okay.
He has no idea. He's 3 years old. He has no idea how you people work.
He's like a puppy.
I was going to say like Ariel.
Yep.
He wants to be a part of our world.
Aww.
No,
He does.
Wallace, go away. Nobody wants you.
So long as no one makes him wear clothes, he wants to be part of that world.
Yes. So, Slender, you see this first. The rest of you sort of catch up after the kids run away, and you're momentarily congratulating yourselves for a job well and quickly done. You see hundreds of people flying towards the portal from all over the city, some wearing guild colors, some not, some running or riding on fantastic beasts or other creatures. There's a person running with a dog at his side.
They knew where to find them.
Yes. Someone else is riding a dragon. But they are flying towards the portal, and wherever these individuals head in, you can hear the sounds of battle ensue. Some of what I will from this point forward refer to as Eternals, because that's what they are. Some of the Eternals crest the hill and are looking past you towards where everyone had been fleeing. And you realize that at this point, there is no... You cannot fight an army. You can't. But you can potentially distract or slow down some number of these soldiers. Right now, there are 3 of them that have crested the hill and are about 150 feet away from you and closing in, headed directly towards you.
Enfield would already have like the Morning Star and War pick out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready for action. Who is most in touching range of me? I don't remember where we stood.
I mean,
Probably
you're all
Enfield.
pretty close. You could I imagine touch any person in the party that you want, with their permission, of course.
Cool. So I have 2 of this one left. Okay, I'm going to use protection from evil and good. No, that's not the right type. I swear I had the... Never mind, ignore me.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this isn't technically part of the creature stats, but I don't imagine that they wouldn't be able to do this. I'm going to shoot webbing onto the ground.
To try to slow them down?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'll let that work as sort of a slightly shitty cast of web.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what you're doing. Shakes, you have about a round to prepare. What are you doing?
Taking out weapons and heading that way.
Okay. Cylindra?
pull up my cloak. I want to vanish into the shadows.
Okay.
I am the knight.
How does he always do that?
Does
Okay.
our paddy wagon have? Do we remember if our paddy wagon has weapons on it?
It has buttons you're not supposed to push.
Let's push all the buttons. Let's just go
What,
straight into them
just,
and push all the
just
buttons.
take the handbrake off, give it a shove, and press all the
That's what I'm
buttons.
thinking. Just find a big brick, put it on the gas pedal, push a bunch of buttons, and just send it in. See if it goes
You're
boom.
only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
We didn't. We blew the wheels off. That's about it.
Um,
The doors incinerated. We didn't blow them off.
okay. Dwyer, what are you doing with your round? So, sorry, Granny, I assume you're running to the car and getting in and turning it on.
Yes.
Okay. Granny? Or, Dwyer? Sorry. Danger
You're fine.
Grandma, not Granny.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna bless.
Okay. Bless. Hey, never feel bad about that. That's always a good idea. Okay. So here's how we're gonna do this. I'm just gonna go in order: Solyndra, Dwyer, Enfield, Granny, and these guys go last. So, Solyndra, you get to act first before anyone else. What would you like to do? You could be in close combat with them now, if you want.
Okay. And how many are we currently looking at here?
3?
Sorry, 3, not 5, 3. 3,
Three?
sir. Yes.
Okay. And I'm hoping I was able to hide in the shadows. If not, I'm going to try that now. Put up the cloak.
You have no idea. When stealthing, you don't know if you stealthed well or not. You don't know what your roll was, for example.
Well, I'm just saying
what you know
assuming.
is so act on the assumption that you're stealthed and tell me what you would do.
I was just making sure that action took place before this.
It did.
Then rapier one hand, dagger in the other. Try to get behind one, stab.
Is your rapier magical?
Yes, it is my X-blade.
Okay. 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 Give me an attack.
Don't forget bless.
True.
Bless,
Actually-
bless.
Yes, it's a D20 plus a D4.
I probably should have did my Hexblade's curse, but I'm saving that for later. Plus 18 to hit.
Miss.
18's a miss.
18's a miss.
Okay. Then
Or rather, you hit and blow your stealth, unfortunately, and your rapier tinks right off of the Lazatep coating.
that's fine.
Anti-magic.
Okay. Okay.
Bless goes for both attacks, correct?
Say again?
Bless would cover for both attacks.
Yes, it does.
And dagger 24.
That hits. Now, this attack does not get your sneak attack dice.
Yeah, because it blew my stealth.
Yep.
Should be just +3. 6 damage.
You shove the dagger in with as much strength as you possibly can, and it does hit home. It finds a slight crevice that the dagger won't bounce right off of, and shoves straight in, and you can see it, like, it does slice through, but it doesn't, the Lazatep doesn't crack or break. It just goes right through the section that the dagger actually takes up, and that's it. But it does go through. And when you pull your dagger out, there is a dagger-shaped hole now in the armor. That is Solyndra. So, Dwyer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to melee attack with my warhammer.
Okay. Give me an attack.
Oops, I still was on advantage, but the first,
21. That does attack. And is that damage correct?
Yes.
That seems low. What did you roll?
A 1d8 plus my strength, but I just rolled a 2.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Because, I was doing it one-handed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cracks it, and this time where the hammer lands, you can see the impact on the armor. I assume that you were hitting the same one?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a second attack.
Yes, take it.
24. To hit for 6 damage.
Okay. Yes. That also hits. So you are just pounding away, and with your second hit, you watch as some of this stuff crumbles and falls, leaving an opening underneath the exact shape of your warhammer. And what you can see is bone. On the other side of this is a skeleton with nothing else, really. It's Lazatep over skeleton. Enfield.
Can I assume that watching the other two attack, I would notice that the rapier didn't have as much effect as the dagger?
I mean, people miss, people hit. I would say I will allow it with a high intelligence check.
Will my intelligence check, is that a free action or is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The higher of intelligence or wisdom, either one.
Well, I already rolled. And I rolled a nat 20, so I'm not gonna re-roll that.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, in which case, Enfield will kind of, he will be favoring the Morning Star, but on noticing that will kind of like just switch and swing at one of the ones that hasn't been attacked yet with the war pick.
Okay.
Oh wait,
yeah.
bless. Hold on. Forgot roll. 1, 8. Oh. Okay, 17.
Well, shouldn't it be 18? The D4, or do you not actually have advantage? You're just rolling advantage, but you don't actually have it. I see.
I don't have advantage.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so 17 is not high enough. You hit it, clang, but it just... What am I looking at? Rolling 1d20, 19 plus 6 equals 10 plus 6? Do you have a negative applied on your sheet somewhere?
No, I'm rolling off D&D Beyond. It might just be a different algorithm. I don't know.
Hang on.
My war pick is a +6.
I'm trying to understand this thing.
It's
Can-
talking about crits.
When it says, oh,
Yeah, because I have an.
okay,
Crits
I get it now.
stats over 19 plus 6.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I was trying to see the actual number that you rolled. So you have a +6. So you rolled a 10 and an 11. All right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah. So you hit it and you're in melee. So you're stopping it from moving at least.
Mm-hmm.
You're tying it up, but you hit it and it like you don't feel pain the way other people process pain. What you feel is your joints move smoothly and then stop suddenly, and various of your of the cables and pulleys within you are suddenly somewhat misaligned for a moment as you just and stop.
I will flick the war pick around in my hand and use my extra attack.
Cool.
And hit it again with the thing. Hold on.
Don't forget the D4.
I'm rolling it. That's better. 19.
19 hits.
Hey, so that's 7 piercing damage with my war pick.
Yeah.
Do I add bless to damage? I don't, do I?
No, not to damage. No.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so you do 7 damage. Clank.
Yep, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to just bring the Morning Star down, even though I know it's not going to be effective, because smashy. That even if I roll a 4 on the 1d4, that's not going to hit.
No.
No. But he's trying.
Yeah. Okay, and then Granny.
From my vantage point on top of the car, do I see more behind them?
Yes.
And are they relatively close?
They're certainly getting closer.
I'm going to take out the Rocky Talkie. And I'm going to say into it, Sarge, the kids are safe. Take care of my moss. And throw the rock away. And
Goodness.
I'm going to gun the vehicle.
Okay.
And go straight towards the largest mass I can see.
Okay.
And right before I hit that mass, I'm going to push all buttons.
How many
I'm just
times?
imagining like tiny hands on a steering
I
wheel.
will push all of the buttons at least 7 times.
Okay. Hey, Portia. Now's the time.
What?
She gets
What's
one free
happening?
hand of God moment.
It's weird getting
So here's what happens. You drive towards them. You press all of the buttons. There are several lights and klaxons going off within the car. You can hear the stomping of the feet of the approaching Eternals, and the lights, the beeping are gaining in speed. It hits a fever pitch. The wind is blowing your goblin hair back as the car slams into the first of what are apparently hundreds of them who are running across this alleyway to get to you. The car stops. Suddenly, you notice that the impact against this stuff suddenly deadens. So there's very little in the way of them bouncing off. They're simply knocked to their feet. The car explodes. The sirens reached their height, and at their zenith, the engine disintegrates rapidly outward, destroying the first 50 of these that were headed towards you. And
The shadow it leaves behind is in the shape of a dragon.
okay.
I just
There is a chance here. Roll me 1d100. I love you, my friend. But Granny
Can I-
is quite
No,
dead.
can go on. I have inspiration. Can I give it to them, please? Can I give it?
Yes, to allow a reroll.
Okay.
I'm sorry. But Granny has
Does
passed.
breast count?
For what it's worth, Granny just, like, went out like a badass. Rain, are you okay with this?
Yeah, that's how Agabi do.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh.
I will take such good care of the moss.
Fire will have a little moss zen garden.
After that would be the Eternals go. Actually, it is the Eternals go. So, Rain, stick around. Eternal number 1. They get an attack routine, not entirely unlike yours. Eternal number 1 is attacking Dwyer. And that is what's your AC?
18.
Eternal number 1 misses. Eternal number 2. That is a double hit. Eternal number 2 is going to do... Do I have another one of these? I thought I did. Oh, that's right. Okay. Eternal number 2 is going to do... 16 damage to you.
Okay.
From 2 hits. He is carrying Kopesh blades. Long, curved like this. Eternal number 3 is attacking Enfield.
I throw up my shield.
Okay, and that does what? Ups the AC
Imposes
by 2?
disadvantage.
Oh, imposes disadvantage. Ooh, okay. Hang on, I gotta roll... hang on. No! I have a die somewhere, and I don't know where. And I didn't get the one I was going for. Okay. Okay, so there's that one. Ooh. Turned a hit and a crit into whiff whiff. So
Join
good
a
job.
whiff. Whiff.
So just what? Yeah, nothing. And that is the Eternals go. At the top of the round, before Solyndra can act, in from nowhere, quite literally, bamfs Dak Faden. Hey, thought you guys might need some help.
That is what we said, yes.
Yeah, I tried to run, and then, you know what a conscience is?
Yes.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. Anyway, and he turns and he his fist glows bright red, and he punches at one of the Eternals. He punches through its chest. The Eternal, like the Lazatep, shatters and breaks. The spine in the middle of it cracks and splinters. And the Eternal, in response, grabs hold of Dak by the throat, pulls him closer, and opens its mouth. and makes an unholy noise that is both scream and sigh at the same time. And it looks, its eye sockets are tearing into Dak as an expression of anguish comes over him. And it is clear from what is occurring that this is not at all what was the intended effect. He is incapable of moving out of the grip of this thing. Cylindra, it is your turn.
Muted.
Okay, so this thing has him. Shit. Okay. Do I see cracks on the armor where I could use the rapier?
This, by the
At this
way,
point?
is the previously uninjured one. Yeah. Rapiers are famously bad at poking skeletons.
This is true.
Famously?
Yes.
Okay.
Confirmed. My Saturday game, I tried that, and it just went right through the skeleton.
Pokey weapons, not so bueno for skellies.
Oh, with you now. Yeah.
Then I'm going to disengage with my bonus action.
Okay.
25 feet back.
Okay.
Witch bolt on it.
Okay. Roll your thing. Or is it a save on my part?
It's a roll. Does blessed count in this one as well?
Yes, it is an attack roll. Ooh.
28 to hit.
Well, fuck yeah. Witch Bolt is the one... doesn't it do, like, all elements? Is that the one that I'm thinking of?
Lightning.
It's electricity.
Oh, it's the Emperor's... It's Force Lightning.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You will know the power. Yes, okay. What?
You're such a nerd. I love it.
Says the person playing in my D&D game. Yes.
I've always known I was a nerd. That's why I'd appreciate it in other people.
Okay.
8 damage.
All right. 8 damage is enough to not do very much, but you can see some of the Lazatep losing its structural integrity. It's almost like baking in your lightning and crumbling around the hole that Dak had created.
Well, it makes me feel good because now I have an automatic hit
Yes.
every turn.
Yes, you do. Dwyer.
Okay. Divine Smite.
Okay.
Click. There we go. Sorry, I just wanted to click it because then it auto adds to my rolls. So you can ignore that. And then Warhammer. 24 to hit.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to turn on the Divine Smite though, so. Well, I'll just use that 7 then, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. So it was... Okay, so you do a total of 10? Am I reading that
Correct.
correctly? 3 bludgeoning,
Correct.
7 radiant? Okay,
Correct.
that's fine. The radiant damage actually seems really good. As you smash through this thing's skull and it falls to the ground in a heap.
Are they undead?
Kind of.
With skeletons?
They
that makes
are
sense.
they are undead,
Okay.
Reanimated?
and then some. There's a whole thing.
Okay, just because Divine Smite does like an extra 1d8 against undead.
Oh, that's good to know. But this one is dead.
Cool.
Dead.
Dead.
Yeah, it's been re-deaded. Re-deaded.
Okay. And then instead of using my bonus action for a second attack, I'd like to do a bonus action spell.
Okay.
It is. Let me click it. Oh, don't go away. Sanctuary, and I want to hit Solyndra with it. I ward a creature within range against attack until the spell ends. Any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a Wisdom saving throw.
I'm going to tell you something about your spell that you would
Yes,
know
please.
because it's your spell.
Perfect.
Solyndra is currently engaged in an ongoing attack. The spell would immediately end.
Oh, okay.
You might want to do that with the person that has his arm.
Well, he would also be engaged then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I do Shield of... Wait, is that a bonus? Yes, it is. Can I change that to Shield of Faith?
Yes.
Plus 2 AC?
Yes.
Damn.
Solyndra is slightly harder to hit.
Cool.
Okay. Enfield.
Is the one engaged with Dak? Are they still? No, is he the one that got taken out?
No, that is not the one that got taken out. The one
Okay,
engaged
so
with Dak is still up.
Dak still has his arm in a baddie.
Yes, and you are
And
still engaged with someone else.
Yeah, just checking. Okay, I'm gonna hit the one I'm engaged with my war pick. Even with blast, it's not gonna hit, so I'm gonna try and hit it again. Okay. So that's a 20.
Nice. Okay.
So 9 points of piercing.
You smashy good. It's not down, but it's definitely smashed.
And I know it doesn't do anything, but he's still going to try and hit it with the Morning Star.
Roll bless.
80. Okay. 20.
You hit.
It's
Yay!
8 points of piercing damage.
And the
but
question
it's
that I
magic.
should have asked QB before but didn't, how do you want this to go?
Ask who?
I said the question I should have asked QB before, but I'm asking Shakes now.
Oh.
Oh, it's just powder. It's just the war pick comes up and it's slashing, and then the Morning Star just comes down. It's very inelegant and just smash hammer.
Purely
Mechanical.
effective, yes.
He's very efficient. Machines tend to be.
Okay. On Granny's go, the car smolders. The crater begins to cool slightly, and the multitude of Eternals begin to pick themselves up and start heading your way, although slower, and many of them are missing limbs. At the beginning of the round, Dak is unable to move. The Eternal that has its grip on him, its eyes are beginning to fill with a white glow, and Dak it's almost like watching him dehydrate. His skin is running fallow. His eyes are losing their light. He is dying in the grip of this thing as it is beginning to glow with a white, lustrous energy that you can tell is coming from Dak. Solyndra.
Haha, I love loopholes. Okay. So, Witch Bolt says that it fails if I use my action to do anything else. It never says anything about my bonus action.
Yeah. That's not a loophole. That's rules as read.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's more of a loophole for me thinking, oh shit, I'm pretty much
I
stuck
gotcha.
running around. So I'm going to go ahead.
No, you can't cast anything that requires concentration.
That's correct. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the Witch Bolt. Get that out of the way.
Yeah. All right.
5. It's automatic hit.
Okay. You bake away a little bit more of the armor, although you're becoming worried that, like, you're not sure. You can't tell because he's writhing in agony anyway. So you honestly aren't certain if you're affecting Dak with this or not.
Oh well, I tried to help him. I'm just trying to kill things at this point.
Okay.
And then X-Blade's curse on it. So that's just a bonus action.
Sure. If it dies, then you get to do some stuff.
Yep. 4
Okay.
HP. And +3 on my damage rolls.
Dwyer.
Okay. I want to go towards the one that has that's engaged with Dak.
That's the only one still up?
Yep. Cool. Warhammer with my divine smite up.
Okay.
22 hit.
Okay. How do you want this to go?
So I kind of pictured like Dwyer noticing how terrible it's going over there. And so he almost like he puts his shield kind of in between the two of them. I know that they're like connected, but kind of to shield Dak's face, while the Warhammer just comes at the like skull of the creature from the side.
Okay. What happens is slightly different from that.
Okay.
But no, your intent here is what I needed. You smash into the creature, hit him in the head. The Lazatep falls off, but the skull is still there, and it finishes sucking the energy out of Dak. Dak falls lifeless to the ground as the creature disintegrates entirely. And the energy that was inside of it shoots into the air as a ball of white light headed towards the portal near the center of the city.
Oh no.
Around you, in the sky, you see dozens of these balls of light from other points around headed towards the portal.
I did a bad.
No, you did a good in that you made it go faster.
Yeah.
He
And the
didn't
suffering, I
suffer
guess.
longer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What?
Sad face.
I know.
That was unbearably cute. Stop it.
You have an entire army of these running towards you. You've stalled them. You've lost one of your own. You've lost someone who you only just met, but maybe liked a little. What do you do?
Ready weapons. There's not much else to do. It's what Enfield does, so he'd just turn and be prepared to do more fighting.
All right.
I'm perfectly fine if you want to percentile chance this.
Percentile
Someone
chance
hurts
what?
my-
Survival.
Oh no, you're all dead. It's okay. I love you. So,
Well,
Yeah.
if I can
Figured.
kamikaze this and it have a slight chance, I want to go up to the portal.
the portal is like
Like
2
way
miles
on the
that
other
way.
side
Yeah.
of the army.
Do you
Yeah.
want to try and Gurgi the portal shut? That would be so cute.
So, so yeah. So Jesus Christ. So final scene is you guys. All right, weapons ready. As the Eternals start running towards you, Rah! And you guys fighting them off as long as you can, and eventually going out in a pile of screaming undead.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so hang on. So I'm going to put this link in the chat. I gave you guys this link at the very beginning of the game, back when we were planning characters and stuff. This is for the that is a whole bunch of 4/4s. Thank you, Bisonic. Shut up. So that link in the chat, hopefully you guys can see it, is to the trailer for War of the Spark, which is the expansion that most of this plotline came from. And you can actually see the little boy and the little girl and Dak Faden. Other characters you did not meet, but might have met had we run this game for longer and gotten more sessions in, and others. It's okay. I am all right with us. But so, what was going on? To give you sort of a very basic rundown, what was going on sort of behind the scenes as you were doing that is, Solyndra Navudi, you got it, like, hole in one. That mirror was an anchor that was used to help finish the portal. It was like the final piece to get the portal connected from the other side. Nicobolus went to this whole other plane called Amonkhet. It's an Egyptian-themed plane. And created. Actually, I suppose I can mute this and play it in the window because it's happening in the thing. That's pretty funny. So I can just have that playing while we're going. It should be working. Yeah, there we go. So what happened was he raised this entire army, dipped them all in this horrifying metal stuff called Lazotep that previously they had used only for very specific purposes. And what that did was it allowed organic beings to cross the ways between planes without themselves being planeswalkers. Planeswalkers all have a spark. That is what allows them to transport from plane to plane. That guy getting it right there. That's Dak Faden. I think he went out better for you guys than in here. But without that spark, you cannot cross from point A to point B. You disintegrate into absolute nothingness otherwise. But putting the stuff around them made them able to cross over. And then he had previously boosted a couple of very specific and extremely powerful artifacts. One that called planeswalkers to the plane, and another that prevented them from leaving. So he created a trap to call in planeswalkers from all around the multiverse to then attempt to harvest their sparks for his own purposes.
Yeah.
Who's the lady?
Which lady? Oh, that's Liliana. Liliana Vess.
Oh, okay.
She has a
Okay.
pretty fascinating story over the course of many, many sets.
And are we technically that chappie getting stabbed by a bunch of people?
Sort of, yeah. So the plan for this game from the beginning was to have you deal with small street level problems. So you're essentially like the I've forgotten now. You're the defenders compared to the Planeswalkers Avengers, right? Like you are Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Daredevil dealing with like little problems just in Hell's Kitchen, right?
I really appreciate who you left off that list.
I really dig
did.
Iron Fist historically, but that
Yeah,
show was no.
Appreciate that.
Yes. So that's what was going on there. So the idea was that you guys were going to be handling these smaller level, like closer to the ground problems, while all this big shit was going to happen around you. And then if we made it all the way through, I agree, Bisonic. And then if you had made it all the way through that, I had plans for you to open up your own detective agency and do things on your own terms and all that. I planned way too much. Unfortunately, and we've already discussed, we just we kind of lost a lot of steam, and it's again, and I'll just to repeat, it is no one's fault. There is no blame to be had or given. It just is what it is. Sometimes life just gets too lifey. And between having, multiple issues with just, even getting the game going to realizing that we're a little older now and maybe some of us can't stay up as late as they used to. Or, and then when Moose just couldn't do it at all because of things, I don't know how open he's feeling. It's nothing super bad, just you couldn't manage it. So, that just kind of, all sort of signaled to me that it was probably coming towards the end for us, unfortunately. But I had a really good time. I hope you guys had a really good time.
I really, really did.
Good.
Yeah.
I actually had an idea for an after thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you
So,
think?
based on that video, like most of that district gets just tumbled.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of my moss coming out from that tumbling and reclaiming it, but because it's lawful moss, it creates like avenues and nice little swirl patterns and
Okay. I'm fine with that. There's a part of the lawful side that Granny Mivix never knew that they had still exists on in the moss around certain pathways. I'm 100% down with that. I thought you were going to go for like a baby Groot kind of situation. Like it's slowly regrowing Granny.
that would be funny, but no.
Yeah. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like for us to go around real quick, and I'd like to add one thing to our usual. So I want to know your favorite thing of the session, favorite thing of the game overall, and then any information about your character that you had hoped would come out in game that didn't. Let's start with Granny.
Favorite moment from the game total. I can't pick just one moment, but every time that we as a group were disasters.
Okay, yeah, there were plenty of those times.
Mm-hmm.
From this session, man, the way I went out was exactly how I wanted to go out.
Yay!
That was my blaze of glory.
I gave you a worthy death.
Because that is pure chaos goblin, and I love it.
Excellent.
And I finally got to push all the buttons.
Yeah, I wasn't actually sure how you were gonna solve that problem because they were going to catch up to you guys. So I'm glad that you went. Oh yes, the button. Yes. Let me go press Chekhov's buttons. Okay, that's not working for me. I'm sorry. Go watch out there and then.
It's laggy.
Okay. All right.
Sickening.
And
I know,
were
isn't
two
it?
things. There were two things that kind of got talked about, but never openly.
Okay.
One is she was trying to reclaim the district with her moss. for the
Okay.
Golgari. that was her goal. Is she was just spreading it to spread it.
Okay.
And then it went lawful and started reinforcing the structures instead of tearing them down. And the second thing is, did anybody figure out her full name? Granny Subtlety Mivix. Her first name is Granny.
Oh my
middle name
goodness.
is Subtlety.
That is the best.
Her parents had high hopes for her.
Oh my goodness.
Subtlety is my middle name.
She is
I'm
only
pretty sure
7
you
years
said that.
old.
Oh no, she was a baby.
Not by goblin standards.
Yeah.
No, she was.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm 3.
We had
Well,
a-
you're even babier.
Yeah, we had a very
Yeah.
young party.
Yep.
All right, excellent. Okay, this cannot continue. I'm sorry, it can't. It's really killing me.
Your headphones need to be bigger.
No. Okay.
As young as I'm 121.
Well, so you're ruining the curve.
And everybody else, me.
Enfield,
Hello.
stop it. Go out there.
Favorite moment from today's session. Oh, I'm just so sad. I love Granny. Was probably the varying attempts at talking to Dak and how we all approach that differently.
Yeah.
And you just going, someone needs to be the leader, which happened for about a minute, and then we all started talking again.
There's good cop,
'Cause we
bad
all-
cop, confused cop, slightly concerned cop.
And then just when Solandra tries to hit him with the dagger, you just hear him shout, "Why?" And Enfield's going, "Why?" And just like them going up, it was just that whole sequence was hilarious. Also, Dwyer very gently explaining that biologically humans don't need clothes on to talk. Just it was just there was a lovely kind of tone of like the nursery worker who just has had to explain this about 15 times already and is beyond being upset. Is just like, okay, this again.
Biologically, no.
Of the whole campaign, I just I love the hot mess that we were, and just all of the interpersonal interactions. I can't think of anything that I would like to reveal about Enfield that he didn't tell people because he's 3 and doesn't know how to person.
He's
and
a bit
the
of an
fact-
open book.
Yep, the fact that he knits came out in the middle of a Rakdos bar because he just produced knitting needles. Sorry, crochet hooks. Yeah, there's nothing really about Enfield that people don't know because he'll answer any question honestly. Not really the greatest thing for a cop, but it works.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, there's nothing that can really beat, sheer honesty.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I could think of is that Enfield absolutely still went, is it League, GDF? Like it was still above it, which is probably why he was still willing to kind of just accept Dak, whatever he said. It's kind of like, yeah, you were one of us. You're probably on the level. It's fine. Yeah, so this is great. I'm gonna miss this game.
Well, we shall see for futures. Although I can tell you, I am taking some GMing time off next season.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Yes.
having a quiet.
Yes,
Hey.
I have heard a thing, QB. So why don't we actually go to Dwyer next?
Okay. Oh gosh. So my favorite thing from today was that it's so like us that we got distracted kind of from the big picture to take care of little things, which I totally understand was our entire MO the entire time. But the sergeant being like, "Oh, you guys are headed towards the portal, but also you need to go rescue these 2 little kids," and we're all just like, "Yes, that's more in our scope. This is our comfort. Bring it down a couple levels. This
We
is where
still
we operate."
terrified the kids.
Oh yes, we did. But did they die?
Did you watch that video?
But then it went backwards, and then they undied.
Yes.
Isn't undying where our problem started?
Yeah, plus it went backwards and then it went forwards. It didn't go forwards and then go backwards.
Doesn't matter. Irrelevant. My artistic interpretation is that they're
You
fine.
can only handle one death in a game.
Yeah.
Favorite overall, I think I really tried to have Dwyer be like very like uptight and just like accept things, but he would get so frustrated with Granny, sometimes Solyndra, and even realistically Enfield just not understanding and not following the rules that I think he like kind of yelled sometimes, and that would have been like very stressful for him. The thing about Dwyer that I did eventually want to reveal, his intelligence is actually only a 10. He's not very smart. He just memorizes things, but he can't make conclusions himself. And so I was very careful to always say he was only documenting, and I never was the one to like put the pieces together, because he likes to think he's smart, but he's not.
I think actually that you did a really good job with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was really impressed, because there were a lot of times where it was like, QB would normally be jumping all over this, but Dwyer isn't.
I was doing better this time.
You were. No, that was solid.
I was like, no, Dwyer isn't smart. He doesn't know this.
Can
He
I
accepts things at face value.
point something out?
Please.
A link was just put in chat.
Aww.
Is that Granny?
Oh!
Grow food in dirt, save time, eat dirt.
Eat dirt.
Yes. Nice.
Nice.
But yes, so that was my secret all along. Dwyer thought he was smart, but he wasn't.
I'm digging it.
To be fair, he's as smart as Enfield.
Well, is that saying anything?
Smarter than
Yeah.
Granny.
You're as smart as the toaster.
Yay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Solyndra had you beat on the intelligence route, but yeah, I mean, hey, 10's slightly above average.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where I tried to keep him.
Yep. Solyndra.
Okay. My favorite thing from the campaign was everybody's reactions when I said I was a Demir.
I'm still mad at you.
You
not
son of a
Solyndra. Mad at
bitch.
you.
You lied to me.
I would have liked to have spent some more time with that one as well, by the way, but yeah, please continue.
Favorite part of the game today was when Dak looked at me and goes, "Wait, who are you?" When I figured out, yeah, it's just anchoring it into the portal. This common knowledge, right? There's two main secrets that I would have liked to have explored.
More secret?
Tamia,
Well,
come on.
they were there, but it wasn't hit upon. Like when I took Dwyer back to my house, and it was still just rubble. That's from when her parents went missing and her house was burnt down. Because she had the spell book. The reason she fumbled in the very beginning, that's not her spell book. She stole it.
Yeah.
So she joined the Demir to figure out what happened with her parents. Here's the reason: if there was children or anything involved, she wanted to help. She was right up there.
Literally run into the burning building. I
Yep.
see it.
She wasn't doing it on, oh, I like stealing stuff, whatever. It's more of, I lost my family. I'm not letting them lose theirs.
Aw, the thief with a heart.
Yeah.
That's the reason she was going kamikaze at the very end, going, save as many as I can.
Meanwhile, the rest of us.
Hey, Zed knows if you put children in a game, I can't help it. Even when I'm trying to play a character who doesn't care about squishies, it's like,
But they're little squishies. It makes them cute.
yeah. So it's automatic, and then I have to find a reason for it.
I mean, immediate peril that you were also ordered to go handle. Like, that works, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, so this has been lovely. And once again, before we sign off, I do want to thank our various sponsors, starting with Cool Stuff Inc. and also Rue Inc. Devin Rue has been amazing. So Nerdwear, it is what the nerds
Amazing.
are wearing. And finally, Roll20 for being the rollingest, 20ingest Roll20 that it can be. Thank you for everyone in chat for hanging out and for keeping things lively. Thank you for my players.
The music.
The music?
The songs we're singing? You're not going that way.
No, I'm sorry. No. You win this round of Stump the Zed. But just in general, this has been good. I would love to play with all of you again in the future. But I also am definitely going to take a moment and work on other things. This next season, I have no plans currently to GM anything. I'm open to possibly playing in a game or two.
I want to play too. I miss
Yeah. We need a god box. We always need a god box.
God boxes are good. But for now, we're going to sign off. And so we loves you, people out there and people in here as well. It is 8:51, so please stick around for, I believe our one-shots are back. So please stick around for that. And it should be a good time. And yeah, we love you all. Have a good night. Bye.